So last week I was going through a list of the highest grossing media franchises and Power Rangers popped up in there. They are in the top 50, outselling the Fast and the Furious, X-Men, Sesame Street, and more. We're going to open this up, look at this. How did these numbers come to be? Are they old numbers? Are they new numbers? What do the newer numbers look like? Let's talk about it, break it down, hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the Fan Club.
You're watching the Fan Club.
And you're watching the Fan Club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the Fan Club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morphed, I made a fake one.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fan Club. It is your boy Dan Brosnan in the building. Welcome to the show. We are happy to have you. We have a fun episode for you. Like I said in the intro, I was chilling looking at this list of the highest grossing media franchises. I noticed the number one was Pokemon, and they're killing everybody, man. They are a mile ahead of the number two. I think it's Mickey, but I was scrolling on down and I noticed that Power Rangers was on this list. So they have the list divided into 5 sections. The $50 billion plus group, the heavy hitters, the 20 to 50 billion, the 10 to 19 billion, then the 5 to 9 billion, and the 2 to 4 billion. I mean, even if your brand is in the 2 to 4 billion, that is freaking awesome. But if you look on this list, Power Rangers is actually in the 5 to 9 billion. I think it comes in at number 47. So they are in the top 50. And it says Super Sentai / Power Rangers. But when we break down the numbers, all of the numbers here are for Power Rangers sales. I do wonder if you added Super Sentai numbers from Japan added onto this, how much more money they really made. But to my knowledge, all of these numbers are corresponding with Power Rangers, and let's look at it. So Power Rangers as a brand is almost done. 9 billion. It's 8.67 billion. They have made more money than Lord of the Rings, X-Men, DC Extended Universe, Fast and the Furious, Pirates of the Caribbean, Sesame Street, Madden, Superman. Yes, folks, Power Rangers has grossed more money than Superman, but I will say that Superman came out so long ago that everything was cheaper back then. So if you did have to accommodate for inflation, those numbers might be different. They've made more money than Shrek, Halo, Ice Age, Sonic the Hedgehog, My Little Pony. That's interesting. More money than Scooby-Doo and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Mortal Kombat. That is a heavy hitter. And I see why somebody would want to come by and grab this. Now, how do we make all this money? A lot of it is 8.47 billion came from licensed merchandise. So when we click this, it says Power Rangers licensed toy sales from 93 to 99 was 6 billion wholesale revenue. That is absolutely insane. So yes, they did most of their numbers in their heyday from 93 to 99, but that is still crazy to think that they did 6 billion in what, like in 6 years, pretty much like $1 billion a year. Holy moly. Now, we don't have the Hasbro numbers. I would be super curious to see what those look like. But let's look at some Neo Saban numbers. Power Rangers licensed merchandise sales during 2012 to 2018 was 2.479 billion. In 2012, they made 300 million. In 2013, they made 333 million. 2014, they made 326 million. 2015, they made 330 million. And then from 2016 to 2017, they did 909 million, almost a bill from 2016 to 2017. they were really pushing the movie and those shows at the time. They had a stranglehold on the kids for a couple years again. I remember from like 2016, 2017, maybe even 2018, I saw kids rocking Power Rangers stuff again. But then in 2018, it took a big dump and they only did 281, comparable to like the few years before. That is not very good. And then they sold the brand. Now, we don't know what Power Rangers was making under Hasbro yearly, but even if they were making like 200 million to 300 million, what the lower numbers were for Saban, they probably made their money back by now. So that was something that I thought of right away. And then they made a lot of money from DVD and Blu-ray, but not as much as you think. Now, I'm not sure if these numbers are just the digital for like Amazon, Vudu, iTunes, Google, all that type of stuff. Does this account for the DVD sales, like physical? And one thing that I do see here is right in the middle, June 13, 2017, they did 15 million in Amazon, iTunes, Google, and Vudu. Was that from the movie? Or was that like all the Power Rangers sales for that time? That's interesting. But then you do have like the Dino Supercharged Complete Collection, stuff like that coming out. But we don't have numbers for everything. The fact they did $15 million in sales in June, I think that was for the movie. It had to be. They must have like put that out and the fans ran to it. So that stands out to me and shows that if you put something out that the fans will get around, they'll not only watch the movie, but they'll run those numbers up on digital. So I don't think that includes the DVD sales. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. And then we go on over to the box office. Now, we haven't been super productive with Power Ranger movies in the past, but I did want to go on over here and check out the movies. Now, I don't see the Turbo movie. We know they didn't make a lot of money on that. Maybe that's why they didn't include that. But the first movie, it says worldwide box office 37 million off of it. Now, I thought they made a little bit more, but maybe that's all they made off it, 37 million. Now, I think they did like double or at least triple their budget, but to some people it was a success, to some people it wasn't. I think it was a bigger success when it came to VHS sales and toy sales from the movie, but it made enough money back because they went for a sequel. They went for the Turbo one, and kind of wish they didn't. That's not even on this list. But the Power Rangers 2017 movie was not as bad as you think. It has a production budget of 120 million, and they grossed a worldwide box office of 142 million. Now, we're not factoring in all that money they made off the toys, but to get a sequel, like we said, you gotta double, triple, quadruple your money, your budget. Like, it's not good. Even if they made 200 million, they still might have not got a sequel. Now, I think they might have, because that was 60 million more than they made. However, some movies want you to make like 250, 300, so it actually makes sense to put all the money into another one, right? Especially now. I think a few years ago, some of these companies and these studios had more money to throw around, but because less people go to the actual movie theater, they are kind of being hesitant on what they are choosing. But overall, Power Rangers is a top 50 most gross brand when it comes to media in America, at least. Now, I know it says Super Sentai, but there aren't any numbers on here that say Super Sentai. All of the numbers are for the Power Ranger merchandise, the Power Ranger DVDs, and the Power Ranger movies in America. Well, and of course, the worldwide box office. Sorry about that. You do got to throw that in there. So it's interesting that we had a hiatus here, and it felt like nobody wanted to touch Power Rangers, and then out of the blue, It seems like Paramount wants to get their hands dirty. Hasbro actually wants to resurrect this brand. And why is that? Because this brand has been known to make billions and billions of dollars back in the day. But we've talked about one of the biggest problems with Power Rangers is its identity. They continued for years and years to make the same exact show that we grew up on. However, the big problem with that is kids today don't really like that show. They like all this new stuff because it's a new generation of kids, right? Power Rangers need to change for those kids or change for the adults. Us adults that grew up watching Power Rangers, we still watch other superhero shows, but they are for adults now. They're for an older audience. Power Rangers never grew, so they didn't grow with the older demographic, and they didn't get younger for the youth. You got to remember, every 4 to 5 years, there's a new era of children, right? Those 5-year-olds become 10-year-olds fast, and those babies become 5-year-olds fast, and they like new things. Power Rangers was pretty much the same thing forever, and the reason why we liked it back in the day was because it was fun and it was new and it was for that generation of kids. I think they need to figure out how to do both. How to make a show for the older generation so we can bring back our pocketbooks and our wallets, but then you're able to get the young generation and get them hooked to something. That's why we talked about, like a PBS style show, CGI, Paw Patrol, Spidey and His Amazing Friends on Disney Plus style show. That would be great for Power Rangers because there's so many characters that you can introduce and you can show the new generation all of these awesome characters and then use that money to give the older fans something that they want. But what are your thoughts? Do you think this is pretty cool that Power Rangers is still in the top 50 most grossed media brands? Let me know in the comments. Shout out all the fans out there that take the time out of their day to watch this content. You are the real MVPs and the reason why we can continue to make content like this. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
I want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members, Salima Ramirez, Stephen Heffelman, Anime King Nick, Louis Cairns, Papillon Purple, Thomas Franco, and Troy Lyon. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, hit that share button, and if you can, please sign up to be a member today. We have 3 membership power-ups. We have the Gold Ranger power-up, the most popular. You get into our exclusive fan club chat group. We have fan exclusive videos that we are adding monthly now, and you get a video shout out. Yes, folks, at the end of our videos, I will shout out your name. We also have the Quantum Ranger power up where you get monthly meetings online with me. Yes, folks, we will talk once a month on Zoom, and you can give me your ideas for future episodes. And then we have a professional package, the Dr. K power up, that is for businesses that want to tap into the platform. If you guys can, please sign up to be a member today. It is highly appreciated and it helps us keep these videos going. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.